Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk live co-host. You can see that show with Mike Florio preceding this one on Peacock and soon to be, starting Monday on NBC Sports Network. He'll be in studio, Football Night in America. They get you ready for the Lions at the Eagles. Kickoff 8:20 Eastern. Football Night in America starts at 7 Eastern. Chris, let me start with the Eagles, with A.J. Brown. He can be telling us the truth. He can be correct in his assessment of the offense. It's just the style in which he's telling us these things I have a problem with. Tell me what is different about the Eagles this year as opposed to last year, and in particular, A.J. Brown.
Well, I think, last year they got the running game going to such an extent that it basically made everything really easy, right? Everything. Now, it didn't even matter. I mean, again, let's not forget, there was a 7 or 8 week stretch towards the end of the season where last year in Philadelphia, we were like, man, can they throw the ball? Can they really do anything like that? This is not like it's just coming up out of nowhere again. It was also like that the year before, too, when they, kind of had the meltdown late in this football season. So this has been a continual, issue with them. They're not extremely creative, right? The quarterback is not surgical, playing within the pocket. I don't think the quarterback wants them to do a whole lot on offense either. So they're very simple that way. And I say that because I know that. I've been told by that by people that have played there, coached there, been there now, whatever. So those are the issues. So, yeah, they lack a creative, schematical attack on a week-to-week basis where they basically rely on, and when you see Jalen Hurts in the passing game have a good game, what happens? It's always the same thing, Dan. The team has to play run defense to such an extent that now we can just throw a go ball to A.J. Brown or we throw a slant to Devontae Smith and then they run and do that. But there's never like, ooh, watch this systematical destruction they're doing right here. And without the run game, all those things kind of get put at the forefront and we all go, what's going on with the most talented offense in football?
Why isn't anybody else complaining?
That's a fair question. I get that. You've heard offensive linemen going, we're predictable. We have people saying the plays when we're lining up there, right? But at the same time, too, right, they're wasting one of their biggest assets in their football team. We got a guy that's making $32 million and is one of the best offensive players in the game, and they can't find a way to let him touch the football. That's kind of crazy in the 2025 NFL. So again, I don't sit here and condone all the things he said and done. This thing, what he just did, playing online, playing a game with somebody, I don't think he said anything crazy there. I didn't have that much of a problem with it. He just, hey, we're not good. Don't take me on fantasy. We should be better. Yeah, it's obvious stuff, right? But yes, I understand your point in airing out their dirty laundry sometimes. Sure, I get you.
What should we be watching for with Drake Maye tonight?
Man, Drake Maye is, first off, what I love is the aggressive nature of the offense, right? You're watching them every week. It's not dink and dunk, and like they're managing Drake Maye, and is that like they haven't gone the full Tom Brady offense yet because it's a hard offense and he's learning it. And I think Vrabel wants to play a certain way. So it's not just like, hey, the ball's in your hands, tear them up that way. They play a balanced game of football. They can really run the football. But when they drop back to pass, they're looking for heavy hitters. And that's what I love about Drake Maye. He is just as poised as can be in the pocket. He's fearless with people around him, and he is an unreal intermediate deep ball thrower right now. And then when it's not there, as you know, he's getting to the point like Tampa Bay last week, Dan. They spied him. His running is getting good enough to where at third downs, the defensive coordinator is like, we got to account for him. We got to have a plan here. So he'll pose some problems. The Jets defense, though, is no slouch. They're one of the better pass defenses in all of football. I don't think it's just going to be bombs away play after play. The problem is we know the Jets offense stinks, and, eventually the dam will break with the Jets altogether.
But with Josh McDaniels there, are they running? Yes. Are they running Tom Brady's offense? Maybe just it's a little watered down.
Exactly. They are. And I think Josh McDaniels, you can say what you want about him as a head coach. There's no denying he's one of the best offensive coordinators in football for about 20 years straight here. And yeah, I think it's early years Brady offense right now. That's what I would say, Dan. Like when they were winning those first 3 Super Bowls, they weren't in the shotgun and it wasn't just Wes Welker, Edelman, we're going to just totally destroy you that way, right? It was a little bit more, we're going to run the ball and then we're going to fake the run and Tom's going to sit there and throw a 20-yard laser down the field for play action pass to somebody. That's kind of the way they're playing right now. It's like early 2000s Patriots.
Your MVP as of today is?
Matthew Stafford. I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford. Yeah, I mean, again, Drake Maye in that combo for sure, right? I mean, we'll see where Baker Mayfield, I'm still not going to take him out of there. But I think the top three right now would be Stafford, Drake Maye, and Jonathan Taylor for my money. Those would be the three guys I'd look at. Stafford is, phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. And again, a lot like Drake Maye, it's not like it's a dink and dunk offense. He drops back and he's like, where's Puka? Is he 30 yards down the field? Oh, no, he's not open. Oh, there's Devontae. He's 40 yards down the field. Shoo! Right? I mean, that's where he is phenomenal that way. And for being the gunslinger he is and the arm talent he still has and still he's only thrown 2 interceptions. Yeah, I'll give him the title right now as we sit here.
And I thought this would be his last year. I love them as a team and a Super Bowl contender. It just came down to Matt's health. Right. And I don't know how many times he's been sacked, but probably not very many. You've got a great coach. You got a couple of great receivers, and you got a running back. You got some playmakers on defense, and then you got this showdown with Seattle. How is Seattle making this work? Kind of in the shadows here.
Yeah, it is. And I know you don't listen to me like on a daily basis and don't expect you to, but Seattle's one of those teams for about 3 weeks. I've gone on my shows, different shows, and gone, they're the team everybody's sleeping on. The Seattle can go to the Super Bowl. They're that good. They literally are that talented. And I think that their offense and what they do fits Sam Darnold a lot better than what he was in Minnesota. So the first thing is they can legitimately run the ball this year, where like if you don't play run defense, they will run the ball with success. And then if you overplay the run, they're one of the most aggressive passing teams in football too. Yards per attempt, yards per completion, you look it up. Sam Darnold's at the top of the list in that department. And then you add Rashid Shaheed to it. So they have a great combination of like, hey, we can run the ball. When you cheat and stop the run, we got some guys on the outside, even Cooper Kupp, that can beat you down the field. Watch out. And then that Shanahan play action scheme is so effective off of that with Clint Kubiak. The other side, I have a man crush on their defense, Dan. Their front five, their front four, I mean, it's one big baller after another. So they can win the physical battles, and their secondary is awesome on top of that. Not totally healthy yet, but it's between that and the scheme. Yeah, as I've said a lot of times this week, like, don't be shocked if we're sitting here Championship Sunday and the Seattle Seahawks are there. I put them in the same class as the Lions, the Eagles, and the Rams, or the Bucks in the NFC. The NFC's got some heavy hitters this year, that's for sure.
Vikings having more of a seller's remorse with Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold?
That's a good question there. I think that they made up their mind. They didn't want the Sam Darnold thing at the end of the year, after the Detroit game and then going into the Ram game, which the Ram game wasn't Sam Darnold's fault, the wild card game. I mean, they got their butts whooped in totality. Everybody got whooped. Nobody had a chance in that football game, whoever played quarterback. But the Daniel Jones things, I had heard from some people up there and some credible people that they really like Daniel Jones. And again, as you've heard me say to you before, the league views Daniel Jones differently than the fans do. And so, yeah, I would think there's some buyer's remorse. But at the same time, like, they were invested in J.J. McCarthy. They traded up to get him. They had to do this. He's a top 10 pick or 11 pick, whatever he is, right in that range where they got to see what they got here. So can he stay healthy? Here he is, can't practice yesterday, right? There is some talent there, but it's not going to be like he's going to be able to run the offense like Sam Darnold did last year or Kirk Cousins before that. He's basically a rookie, so there's going to be a few bumps in the road as we go forward here.
Feels like people are bailing on Jaden Daniels because he got hurt. He did turn in maybe the greatest rookie season a quarterback's ever had.
I'm so sick of the fickle nature of fans right now. Like, trust me. I mean, I have people now being like, Drake Maye is he's better than Jaden Daniels now, right? I mean, Bo Nix is better than Jaden Daniels now, right? And it's like, no. Jaden Daniels is phenomenal. This is the only issue you really had about Jaden Daniels that I think I worried about and other teams worried about is he's frail. I mean, he can be painfully skinny looking in the field at times. So this is what we all wondered. Could he take the punishment of the NFL when he ran a little bit and did that? But still, I mean, he's phenomenal. And the class is phenomenal. I mean, come on. Caleb Williams is going like this too. And he's totally getting reconstructed as a quarterback robot here right in front of us. So it's an incredible class right now that I feel like you really only question right now to this point is J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix, and where are they going to go? The talent's there, but it's just been all over the place so far.
It feels like it was 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago, people were bailing on Caleb Williams-Ben Johnson relationship, that it wasn't going to work. And I'm thinking, do we give up that quickly with that talent? And then you bring in Ben Johnson, who's trying to get him to play the position how he envisions it instead of Caleb envisions it?
Exactly. That's a lot. That's a lot, Dan. You're spot on. I mean, this is a guy that his whole life in Caleb Williams has been able to drop back and go, oh, I can just make it happen. I'll just make this throw, or I'll scramble and move and buy some times and make it happen. And he's got now Ben Johnson coming into town and going, no, that's cool. You might be able to do that in, the Pac-10 against some crappy defenses, or in the Big 12 and all that. And you might get away with it against a few defenses in the NFL. But as a whole, if you want to win a Super Bowl, you got to run an offense. You can't think you're just going to make a play in a big moment. You got to trust the system and be systematic that way. And he hasn't been that totally yet, but he's getting there. That's for sure. And his talent is eye-popping. I mean, to me, it's eye-popping. I mean, one, you see his running. His running is like a third down running back. He breaks tackles and breaks ankles and does all that. His arm is arguably the strongest in football. It's right up there with Josh Allen, right? But throwing balls on time, in rhythm, in the pocket and all that, that's still a learning process, and you explained it right. And Ben Johnson, of course, has a million rules and laws to his offense. That's a big learning curve.
Well, I want him to be Jared Goff through the first three quarters. Then he can be Caleb Williams in the fourth quarter.
That's a great way to put it. That's what he should be. You're exactly right. And I think if me and you sat down and watched film right now of Caleb Williams, you'd go, yeah, there's a little too much, trying to color outside the lines in the first three quarters, where you just go, wait, that little slant route or that under route was open. Let's hit it. Let's be in 2nd and 4. Let's just keep going that way. And yeah, he hasn't totally gotten there yet, to your point, Dan.
The Giants situation with Jackson Dart, I don't know how much this played into the firing of Brian Daboll, but if you're going to have designed runs with your quarterback who runs like a running back, I have to protect Jackson Dart from himself.
That crossed my mind. I don't think you're crazy for that. There's a little bit of like a thing with the Giants where I was like, are they just going to go all out and ruin the football team just to save their jobs, right? And that's where I was like, ownership's got to look at the bigger picture here, right? It's like, we got to win this one or I might get fired. I'm going to ruin the rookie quarterback's career today and run him up the middle 75 times. But I want to keep my job for another week.
When he's knocking on the blue tent and getting Jackson Dart out there, I went, wow.
Right.
This was a troubling situation because it really felt like Brian Daboll knew, I can't put Russell Wilson in there.
I'm totally with you. And then even last week, he gets concussed, and then he comes and plays 2 plays, and then somebody with some brains went, wait, that guy's brain's not working functionally here. Let's get him out of the football game. But yeah, was that a part of my thought at first? Was like, man, they don't trust him, and they don't feel like he's protecting Jackson Dart. Certainly that crossed my mind, but I think ultimately, they wanted to turn the page on Brian Daboll. And I don't know if I totally agree with it. I'll just say from this, I'm all for the new, getting a new head coach. I think there's a part of me, though, that goes, wait, Jackson Dart and what he's doing, it is going this way. Do we want to disrupt that right now? Maybe just keep that going, and then we can fire Daboll after the year. I think we all knew it was going that way anyways. It didn't matter, right? So I just wonder if this disrupts the whole process of Jackson Dart to a degree.
Is Jameis Winston goofy on purpose?
I think no, he's like that naturally, and I say that in a good way, right? Jameis Winston, I think, was afraid for a long time to show his true personality because of some of the things that happened in college in his early career, where I think he was like, wait, I'm the number 1 pick. There's a bad reputation out here. So let me be a little bit, as far as just a straight arrow. But I think he's gotten to a point in his life where he's finally like, hey, the hell with it. I'm just going to be myself. And I really love being around him. He is hilarious. He's funny. It's natural.
Do you want him as your quarterback?
Not as a starting quarterback, no. But I want him over Russell Wilson. Like that is no doubt. I'll take that. Again, I don't think Russell Wilson plays to win games anymore. I think he just plays not to lose. Jameis is going to play to win this week. And yeah, he might throw some interceptions, but he might throw some of the damnedest touchdown passes we've ever seen too. And I'd rather watch that than Russell either throw a go route or take a sack. I don't want to see that.
I can't imagine somebody giving Russ another chance.
No. And does Russ really want another chance? I mean, I think Russ came to New York because he wants to live the New York life, and they're more worried about being famous and all that. And yes, I mean, the days of being a starting quarterback are certainly over. It's just, does he want to take the Joe Flacco route and be a backup somewhere and maybe revive his career that way?
Good to talk to you. Thanks as always. Have a great weekend. And you know what? Man. You can always text me if you want to tell me, hey, Seattle is legitimate. Just send a text.
Hey, okay, sure.
Then I don't have to try to find your podcast or watching you and Florio. I mean,
well, I do want you to watch Chris Sims Unbuttoned, but you can text me too and ask those questions. It's not against the rules. I checked the rule book. You're allowed to do that. All right.
He's Chris Sims.
Tell those jerks I said hi.
Hey, jerks. Hey. Pro Football Talk Live co-host and his Unbuttoned podcast as well. He'll be there on Football Night in America. We'll take a break. Your phone calls, what we learn, what's in store tomorrow after this.